Airplanes are one of humanity's greatest achievements, giving man the power to do what was thought to be impossible. However, in this case, 11 people would tragically die on board, and the strange details surrounding it lead to an inconclusive verdict on what truly happened. The BSAA flight CS-59 carried 5 crew members and 6 passengers and was due to land at Santiago, Chile. However, it would crash into a mountain close to Santiago, and the wreckage not found for 50 years through countless investigations. But even that's not the strangest thing about this case, it gets a lot weirder. On the cold winter day of August 7, 1947, the Stardust flight left Buenos Aires, Argentina. With its 5 crew members and 6 passengers, all seemed to be well. The Stardust was a dependable airliner that could fly at speeds of 310 miles per hour and at altitudes of well over 20,000 feet, much higher than most aircraft of the time, sufficient to clear the tallest peaks in the area. Just as reliable as a plane was the crew that piloted it. A couple years ago, they all fought against unknown middle-aged men. Like Hitler. Yeah, the 5 were World War II veterans that had seen combat. The captain, Reginald Cook, was born in Derby, 1918. After leaving school, he works as a draughtsman, which is essentially a person who makes detailed technical plans or drawings. He eventually joined the Royal Air Force Volunteer Reserve. Being in the military for decades, he was promoted flight lieutenant during the May of 1944, and by autumn of that same year was serving with 608 Squadron, who specialized in fast, high-flying night raids on Germany, particularly Berlin. When World War II was over, he was asked to be a pilot with British South American Airways. He completed 12 4-round trips on all BSAA routes. He was finally promoted to captain after passing his exams a few years later. However, less than a month later, it would all go up in flames. Literally. Strangely enough, the most bizarre thing about this case is the passengers. A Palestinian businessman who had a diamond stitched into his jacket. For some reason. A British diplomatic courier who reportedly carried a suitcase full of diplomatic secrets, and a German woman who had the ashes of her dead husband with her. Which isn't too strange, I guess. The rest of the crew were ex-bombers, same as the captain. An accomplished crew with a strange passenger bunch flying to Santiago, Chile. At 5:41, a Chilean Morse code radio operator for the Los Cerrillos airport received a cryptic message. The operator could tell and understood that Cook was telling him Stardust was to land in 4 minutes, but the last word perplexed him. When he asked for clarification, the crew repeated it 2 more times. And then nothing. The crew and Stardust were never heard from or seen again until 50 years later. After the initial investigation, the case became famous for one reason. The world was still buzzing and reeling from possibly the most famous case ever, the Roswell case, which just so happened to be a few weeks earlier than Stardust's disappearance. Instantly, the public went wild with theories and conspiracies about abductions and sabotage. It even inspired a new name for a UFO magazine, dantdm. The alien craze was in full effect. This garnered worldwide attention, which led to investigations, which unfortunately didn't lead to anything. And so this case went down as one of the greatest mysteries of all time for 50 years, until 1998, when a group of Argentine mountaineers climbing Mount Tupungato, approximately 50 miles east of Santiago, stumbled upon wreckage from the crash. Several parts were found, mostly intact due to being frozen in ice, and were later confirmed through DNA testing to be the remains of the Stardust passengers. With the plane found, multiple investigations were then launched. It was then concluded that Captain Cook encountered a jet stream at altitude, which carried the airliner slightly off path so that he thought he was clear of the Andes when he had yet to cross them. Stardust then crashed head-on into a near vertical glacier on the side of Mount Tupungato, instantly killing everyone on board. then causing an avalanche that would bury the aircraft. That much has been proven and agreed upon. So what is the mystery? Why are we talking about this? The meaning of Stendek is the puzzle that has yet to be pieced together, and is why this has remained an aviation mystery for close to a century. The meaning of Stendek is what we'll look at next and decipher. So what does it mean? What could a crew of experienced combat vets have been trying to convey? People of their prestige and experience surely wouldn't have made communication mistakes and then proceed to repeat it twice. According to the official report, the signal was loud and clear, but very fast. So, the leading theory is that the message is something end AR, where N means ending transmission or closing down, and AR is the end of message. According to Morse Pro Sign, it's a recognized sign-off. Apparently, AR when sent fast is often misreceived as EC, AR being EC without the space. And according to the official report, the messages were being sent fast, meaning it's possible that they were misinterpreted. At 1741 hours, a signal was sent out by the aircraft. ETA Santiago 1745 hours, ending with Stendek. The final message as sent was most likely like this. This seems to be the most likely theory, however we do not know definitively. Other theories include the anagram theory. As it turns out, Stendek is an anagram of the word descent. The theory goes that the crew, flying at 24,000 feet in an unpressurized aircraft, suffered from hypoxia. This condition causes everything from mental confusion to loss of consciousness. It's plausible that they would have jumbled their message in a hypoxic state. However, while the aircraft was unpressurized, its crew had been supplied with oxygen. In the event of an equipment malfunction, what are the chances that only one word would be jumbled in the message and that it would be done so 3 times in exactly the same order? Seems very unlikely. Another popular theory is the acronym theory. Perhaps Stendek was an abbreviation for a longer message, an acronym set in a hurry due to being in a crunch for time. Believers of this theory claim it stood for something like Stardust tank empty, no diesel, expected crash, or Santiago Tower, emergency, now descending, entering cloud. Experts on Morse code are quick to have problems with this theory, saying that the crew would never particularly abbreviate an important message. If they wanted to convey distress, they would have sent an SOS. There are many other theories regarding Stardust's disappearance. However, none of them could be confirmed or denied. We only went over the ones that were the most likely. In conclusion, to this day, no one knows what it means. What the crew was trying to say has fallen onto deaf ears. Seems the only one who knows what Stendek truly means is the crew that sent it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and stay tuned. More videos on the way.